In this video, we are going to look into how to set up a budget for beginners. This is going to be life-changing information, and I promise you that if you do the steps that we talk about in this video, your life will be changed forever. The purpose of a budget is all you're doing is just telling your money where to go. Uh, to simplify things, that's what we're going to call it. A budget is just telling your money where to go. Um, and again, if you do these steps that we talk about in this video, your life will be changed forever. I promise you that. Uh, we got a hold of this information many, many years ago. And ever since we got a hold of the information and we started applying the information that we learned, this has set our family on a path to do great things out here in this world. One of the things that I come across a lot of different people is they say that they were never taught how to do a budget. I fall into that camp as well. I was taught more so save your money, but the great thing about budgeting is you're telling your money where to go. So after you're saving your money, you're not just going to put it in a bank. You're going to have an emergency fund set up. So for rainy days, if something happens, you can just take from the emergency fund. And then also, once that emergency fund's completed, then you can really get creative and start investing into your future. Now, I'm not giving any investment advice at all in this video. The only thing we're going to talk about today is the steps to get you to live the life that you want to live through budgeting. So we are going to go ahead and get started. What do you need before you get started? You need to know your numbers. You need to know exactly what your income is and what your expenses are, your household expenses, meaning if you have a mortgage or rent, your electric bill, gas, groceries, just different things that are going to cover your four walls where you live. So we are going to dive into that first. But before you get started, you have to compile all this information. So if you haven't found out what your numbers are yet, I recommend you stop this video and then gather that information before you get started. Because if you don't know your numbers, then this will not work for you. The second thing you're going to need to know for this video is your why. What is your why? Why are you doing this? Are you doing it to build a legacy? Are you building it to stop generational patterns? Are you doing it to be able to save for your kids' college or invest into your business or in a business or invest in anything that's going to bring you a return? So the reason that I tell people that they need a why is because there are going to be times when you do not feel like doing this. This will be difficult for you. I will tell you that. But if you do it consistently, it gets easier and easier every time you do it, month in, month out, doing your budget. Buckle up and get ready because there are going to be some tough times. You know, it's something new, again, something that you're not used to. But believe me, if you do this consistently, you will get the results that you're looking for. So step 2 is find out your why. Number 3, we have to prioritize our expenses. We need to figure out what is an actual expense that we need versus an actual want. Now, I will tell you that there's going to be times where your want feels like a need, but you have to figure out if this is a want or a need. Is buying your kids the latest sneakers, is that a need? No. Do they need sneakers? Probably. But do you have to buy the top end sneaker? For the time being, no. But you're delaying the gratification for now so you can get and live the life that you want to live. So again, it's going to go back to that why. So you need to find out if this thing is a want or a need. We need to prioritize our expenses. And then we're going to go through this in the video when we're actually setting up our budget. Step 4, now we're going to manage our debt. Debt is a thief. It steals from you. It robs you of living the life that you want to live. Now, there's a great debate out there that there's good debt versus bad debt. In my opinion, debt holds you back. So what we're doing today is we're prioritizing credit card debt, student loans, different things of that nature. Now, if you're investing in a business, that's completely different. But based on where you are in your finances, we're talking about credit cards, um, student loans, uh, car debt, things of that nature, consumer debts. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to reduce those things and potentially eliminate them. Because what I will tell you is that if you can eliminate your debt, then you can basically do whatever you want to do. What I mean by that is, let's just say you have a specific income and then you have $1,000 in debt that you have to pay every month. And let's just say that at some point in time, which is what we're working towards, that you end up getting rid of that $1,000 in debt. Now you have $1,000 to do exactly whatever you want to do with it. Now, hopefully, you will end up investing some of that money to then make that money make you more money. So we were taught a lot about saving, and I talked about that a little bit earlier, but we were never taught, for the majority of us, we're never taught how to live an abundant life. And living an abundant life looks like investing, making your money work harder for you than you work for it. And that's where the magic happens. That's where we talk about generational wealth. That's where we talk about changing generational patterns for your kids, because your kids are watching, right? And they see exactly what you're doing. And a lot of times when we were growing up, we say to ourselves, hey, I'm never going to do what I saw my parents do. But how many of us are actually doing what we saw our parents do? So what we're doing today in this video is we are breaking generational patterns by setting up this budget. And in order for us to lower our expenses, we have to know exactly what they are, so then we know what we need to eliminate, so then we can put that money to work. Step 5. We're on step 5, and there's only 5 steps here. We are now going to get to work. We've talked about the benefits of budgeting. We talked about the why. We talked about knowing what your expenses are. We talked about reducing debt so you can live the life that you want to live. We talked about finding out what your income is versus your expenses. Now it's time to get the work. And that's where things get fun. You're going to be learning something new. You're going to be learning something that is going to be uncomfortable for you. But in order for you to grow in whatever arena that you're trying to do, and this is finances that we're talking about specifically today, you have to live uncomfortable. You have to live uncomfortable in order to get to where you want to go. So this will be uncomfortable. I promise you that. However, if you do this and do it consistently, you will win. I promise you that. And if you win, your kids are going to win, because then you're going to be able to teach them the things that you're learning right now. So let's get to work. Let's go. What's going on, family? So this is your first step of getting to where you want to be financially. What we're going to do today is we're going to go over a brief demonstration. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible with getting this budget done. The way that my wife and I we got out of debt is we budgeted. Budgeting is not sexy. I understand that. However, if done the right way, it can yield some pretty sexy results. So we are going to go ahead and get into it. This is the Every Dollar app by Dave Ramsey. He has had this app out for years and years. It is free. So you can go to everydollar.com and then make sure that you download the free version. If you are a person that likes to write down things and have everything on paper, I do have a free budget tool on my website at wealthisajourney.com. So you can go and download that free budget tool if you like to write things down on paper. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I believe that before you get started with your budget, you have to know your numbers. So if you don't know your numbers, just please make sure that you go back and go through your bank statements and look at where you're spending money at. Because in order for you to be where you want to be financially, you have to know where your money's going. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the paychecks first. So if you are married, I'm going to put these numbers in so you know exactly what you need to do as you're doing this. So we're going to go ahead and let's just say you make 3,500 bucks a month and your spouse, let's just say they make $5,000 a month. And this is net, your net. Okay. So church, we are tithers and offering givers. So let's just say you're going to give 1,000 bucks. Okay. We're going to assume that you do not save any money for vacations. One of the things that my wife and I do every month is we're in a position that we are able to save for vacations. If you do have debt, I would tell you probably not to save for vacations at this point in time, or maybe not save for an elaborate vacation. Maybe if you want to do like a staycation or go somewhere for a day or two, go ahead and do that. But the goal is to be somewhere financially that you are not currently. The only way to do that is to sacrifice some things only for a time. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Uh, Emergency fund is going to be huge. A lot of people do not have emergency funds, and we're going to go through why emergency fund is important is because it's going to take your reliance off a credit card. So if you do not have an emergency fund, rule of thumb, if you have debt and you do not have an emergency fund, you want to at least put away $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. So we're going to assume that you do not have an emergency fund. So let's put away some money for an emergency fund for the month. This is all going to be monthly things. Okay. We don't have kids saving, so we're going to leave that alone for now. Your mortgage. Let's just say your mortgage is $1,800. HOAs. You don't have HOAs. Electricity for the month. Let's just say it's $250. Cable. $150. It is October, so I'm assuming that you're not getting any grass cutting done. Alarm system. Let's just say it's $50 a month. Water bill, another $50. So hopefully you see the common theme here is that we are tracking everything that we spend on a monthly basis. This is gas for our house, $200. Trash bill, say $25. Home shield, I'll leave that blank for now. As you can see, every expense that we put in, this left to budget number is going to continue to dwindle down, which is the reason why I enjoy using this app, because it tells us exactly where we are as we're putting expenses in. And then you can see exactly what you have left over when you get down to the debt portion. This is gas for your cars. I know we like to ride around a lot, so $500, we'll put that in there. Maintenance for your cars. This is going to be a game changer here because if you do not have money set aside for your vehicle, if you have say a blown tire or your vehicle needs an oil change or something of that nature, maybe this is an area of opportunity for you to put away maybe $25 a month or so into a savings account for your car, just in case something happens to your car. You can just pull that money out, take care of it, and you do not have to rely on credit cards getting you further into trouble. Okay. So we'll put 25 bucks away for that. Tolls, do another $25. Car wash, we'll leave that alone for now, but just know that you have a line item for car washes if you want to uh, get your cars washed. Now, here is the two biggest things that kind of get us in trouble: groceries and restaurants. I know in my household, we do spend a decent amount on groceries. So if you have a large family, maybe you might spend 1,000, maybe you might spend 1,500. I don't know, but we'll just go in the middle and just say 1,200 bucks. A lot of people go out to restaurants. They do DoorDash, Uber Eats, like to go to nice fancy restaurants sometimes. So let's just go ahead and put 400 bucks. I've seen worse. So that is not really that high. Clothes, you want to buy clothes for work, let's just say 250. Phone bill, $200. Spending money for the two of you, let's just say $800. So that gives you $400 a piece. Now, if you want to break it out and say, like, my wife and I, we do Chase spending money. I do Tanera does Tanera spending money. We break it out, and let's just say we do 400 bucks each. Hair and cosmetics. I know this is a big deal for ladies, and sometimes men. So let's just say we do $300 for the month. If it's higher than that, then that's fine. But you get the example here. Subscriptions is another thing that pulls away from our wealth. We have a lot of different subscriptions that we pay for on a monthly basis, and we don't necessarily use it. Some people have multiple gym memberships. They have Tidal, they have Apple Music, they have Spotify, they have Amazon Music as well. All of those streaming platforms play the same music. So if you do have multiple streaming platforms, maybe that might be an area of opportunity for you to take some of those subscriptions away. So let's just say $50 for subscriptions. Exterminator, we'll leave that out for now. CarShield, we'll leave that out for now as well. Pet care, some people have pets. So let's just say $50 for dog or cat food. Childcare is another big expense for some people. And as you can see, we only have $925 left to budget, and we haven't even gotten to the real stuff yet. So let's just say we don't have any kids. Date night, we'll leave that empty as well. But that's another thing that my wife and I we do is we budget for date nights. So it gives us time to spend time together because life gets busy, and it forces us to spend time together. We go to dinner, we go to movies, we go get massages, different things of that nature, and we put money aside for that. But if you are not in the position to do that based on where you're trying to go, I would just say that maybe that might not be what you want to do. Maybe it might be a stay-at-home thing. Maybe you might want to play a game or watch a movie at home, something of that nature. So you can still spend that time together and not spend a bunch of money because we have somewhere to go. All right, so gym memberships, which could be included in the subscription, so we'll leave that blank. Vitamins and medicines, let's just say we spend 20 bucks a month on that. If you do have a corporate job, there is something called a flexible spending account. They give you, I think, anywhere from $200 to $2,500 a year during your open enrollment. So if you find that you're spending a lot of money on medicines and doctor's visits and things of that nature, I would maybe calculate how much you're spending on an annual basis and then put that money aside for yourself in your flexible spending account, because that's pre-tax dollars that you could be saving yourself money on. And whatever money you put aside, you probably won't miss it in your check because it's pre-tax dollars. So that is hopefully something that's beneficial to you. Doctor's visits, if you don't have any planned doctor's visits for the month, if you do not have a flexible spending account, just know that there's a line item for that. So if you do know in the following month if you know that month that you need to go to the doctors and you know that there's a copay, then you can allot for that money as well. Child sports, let's just say you don't have any children at this point in time, they're all done. If you do have a corporate job, then this should be taken care of in your benefits. Life insurance should be taken care of in your benefits as well. However, I know that some people do have additional life insurance. Sometimes I talk to people when I do budgets with them and they have life insurance and they don't know what the life insurance covers. So I'm talking about life insurance aside from their current job. So if you do have a life insurance policy, some people were sold life insurance policies and they sounded good at the time, and they don't know exactly what they're paying for at this point. So I would encourage you, if you do have an additional life insurance policy, that you would check into it to understand what exactly you're paying for at the very least. And if you don't feel like you need it anymore, then maybe that's something that you can get rid of. I'm not telling you to get rid of it, but I'm just saying look into it so you know exactly what the benefits are of having this life insurance policy. All right. So next we have auto insurance. Auto insurance is a big one as well. Let's just say that's 450. Your homeowner's insurance or renter's insurance, we'll leave that blank because homeowner insurance, if you do own a home, should be covered in your mortgage. Identity theft, we'll leave that blank as well. Now, here's the good stuff. All right, so let's just say you have a Lexus and you have a car note, and your current balance on this Lexus is, let's just say it's 10,000. Your minimum payments are 500. Now, we are now in the negative, and we haven't even put the credit cards and or student loans in here. So let's just say student loan. Got a student loan. Let's just say the student loan, you've been paying that down and you only got $5,000 left. Minimum payment is $50. Next, we have a credit card. Let's just say Amex. You got American Express. Did I go past? I sure did. There we go. So you have an American Express, and on that American Express, you have $500, and your minimum payment is $30. Now, I understand that people have more debt than this, and there's good news, bad news. The good news is that you are over your budget by $125, right? Uh, the bad news is that you're over your budget $125. But the good news is I've seen worse, right? And I've seen people over when I do budgets with them, they're over by 1,000 or more dollars. Now, what I would do if I were you is I would go back to the top to see what areas of opportunity we have to cut and shave. All right. So let's go back to the top. We got church. We're not shaving there. The emergency fund is going to be huge for us. So we're not shaving there. Let's just say we're just starting this month with a $250 per month until we get to the $1,000. So that's going to take us 4 total months to save that $1,000, right? The electricity is an area of opportunity. And I'm going to be brief with this explanation, but if you have let's just say you and your spouse in a house, and a lot of times we leave rooms and we leave lights on or we leave the TV on and we're gone for hours at a time and we forget to turn the TV off, and then we have a electric bill that's $250. Now, if we practice the discipline that we talked about in the last session, then we need to turn the lights off. We need to turn the TVs off, especially if we're leaving out of the room for hours at a time because nobody's in there watching the TV. Nobody's in there using those lights. So turn them off. If you have kids, practice this with them as well. Hey, when you leave a room, turn the light off. This is going to help them help you lower your electric bill. So therefore you can have more money to put down on your debt. So then you can have more money to invest later. All right. Do you need all of the things that come with cable? Here's another area of opportunity. So let's just say we get this lowered to $225. That gives you another $25 back to your budget. All right. Can we cut the cable a little bit? Do you need all of the, I don't know, I have Hulu. Do we need all of the channels for Hulu? I don't know, but these are areas of opportunity that you can cut and shave to get to your desired result. Let's just say, let's go down a little bit more and we'll check gas. So we go to work, we go out, we have a good time. Now, because you're trying to go somewhere, can you shave this gas off maybe 25 bucks per car? If we're able to do that, that's going to give us another $50 back to the budget, right? Groceries, restaurants is huge. Let's just say we keep the groceries where they are and we quit going to restaurants just for a few months. Boom. Now we're in the black. Now we are cooking. All right. So manicures, pedicures, and hair. Let's just say we get our hair done, ladies, once a month. I don't know. But we don't go to get our manicures done just for a time. And let's just say we shave $100 off of this number. And now it's back down to 200. That gives us another $100 back to our budget, back to our bottom line. If we shave some of these subscriptions down, now we're feeling a little bit more hopeful, right? So if you look here, now we have $475 left back to our budget. Now we can knock this American Express off for the month. Let's just say we pay it off. Boom, it's gone. So for this month, now it's gone. So the following month, what we're going to do, if everything stays the same, and the beautiful part about this budgeting app is that everything that we have for this month will then transfer over into November. So if we go back down, we can now put the extra $500 onto the student loans because that's your next smallest debt. And then we're just going to snowball these debts into each other until they're paid off. So that's the beautiful part about using this app is that you guys, if you're married, you're working together to try to find ways to get your debts down. Once you pay one debt off, celebrate. It's a small win to get to the larger goal. We have to celebrate our win. So if we pay a credit card off, post it on social media. You don't know who it may help. It may help somebody. Tell your friends and family what you're doing. It's going to help them. It's going to help you. It's going to keep you accountable. And it may be inspiring to somebody else that, hey, they did this thing that I'm trying to do as well. Let's all pay our stuff off. And then you're building a community for yourselves of accountability. So you're knocking that credit card off. Boom, it's gone. So the following month, sorry about that. Now you got $555 to put down on the student loan, and the student loan should be paid off within a few months. And then the next thing, once you're done with that, Then you roll that into this Lexus. So once everything's done in here, it'll take you about, let's just say it'll take you a year and a half. If nothing changes with your jobs, if you don't have a side hustle, anything of that nature, you paying down all of these debts is going to take you, let's just say, about a year and a half to knock everything off. Now, when we knock everything off, we have our emergency fund in place. So in 4 months' time, if nothing happens, you will have $1,000 emergency fund. So therefore, you will not have to continue putting away money for the emergency fund. Once you're done putting away money for your emergency fund, that money can go towards you paying off more debt. Once that's done, you get everything done. The emergency fund is taken care of. Now you have $1,300 back to your bottom line. Now you want to build a 3 to 6 months expense of your emergency funds. So this is going to, again, take your reliance off of credit cards. That's exactly what we want to do. So we get to keep all of the money that we make. Now, when all of these things are done, you got your 3 to 6 months of emergency fund, you're out of debt. Now you can start investing that money. If you have a side business that you're trying to start, if you want to pay your house down, you can do that as well. This is exactly how my wife and I paid our house off. We took the small steps of paying off all of our debts, our consumer debts, excuse me, and then we started attacking the house. And then we got bonuses on our jobs. And then we got some stocks at our jobs and different things of that nature that allowed us to complete the goal faster. So this is exactly how we did what we did. We use this app. Another little thing about using this app is once you get paid, let's just say you get paid $1,700, $1,750. You track the expense. Sorry about that. You track the expense. So then you know if you only have another $1,750 to receive to get to what you plan for in your paycheck. Once you pay your tithes at church, just say you pay $200 for your tithes. Boom. Now you know that you have $800 left for the month to pay towards the $1,000 for your tithes, so forth and so on. So once you pay your mortgage for the month, it's done. Now you know that you paid your mortgage. You don't have to think about it anymore. But also, while doing this, you want to make sure that you're checking your checking account before you spend the money, just to make sure that it's there. Because some people may say, well, hey, well, I did my budget. My budget's complete, but before you spend the money, just make sure that your checking account is lining up with what you're saying you're receiving from your job, to make sure that you don't have any overdrafts or anything like that. Because again, overdrafts, that's another form of thievery. All right. So what we're trying to do, we're doing all this so we get to keep as much money as we make. And so that way we can make that money make us more money. So hopefully this exercise makes sense. All we're trying to do is give every dollar a name, telling our money exactly where to go, having it planned before the month starts. So the budget should be done before the month starts. So when you start getting paid, let's just say in November, you know exactly where that money is going to go. Now, if something comes up and, something that wasn't planned comes up, now you have options to take from different categories. Let's just say you have an emergency comes up and you need $200. You can take from this gas money. You can take from maybe maintenance from your car. You might be able to take from clothes. Yeah, hey, well, maybe I can buy clothes next month. So you do have options, but we need to see exactly what we're spending first, or what we plan to spend first, before we know what we can take from. What's a necessity and what's not. So hopefully this exercise makes sense. If you need more information or you would like to go deeper in detail with your specific budget, you can always contact me at wealthasajourney.com. You can book a free discovery call to see exactly how I can help you. So again, hopefully this makes sense, and hopefully this has helped somebody on their financial journey.